You are nervous about being held up as a model for diversity, but the truth is your numbers are far above industry average when it comes to diversity. And you personally decided very on in Slack's life cycle to make it a priority. What was the spark that sort of brought you that realization?
First of all, it wasn't just me. It was like a company level decision, and it was when we were around 30 people, and we looked around and we're like, this is looking more or less like every other tech company. It just caused a lot of conversation about what is it that we can actually do to make a difference. But the real impact, I think, was more likely to come in building an inclusive culture, one where people of all different types can thrive, one where critically people are less likely to fall out of the industry. Because the longer someone from an underrepresented group or a woman in technology stays in, the more success she has in her career, the greater the odds that she's going to bring people from her network, that she's going to be a mentor, that she's going to be a role model. And that's the way we're going to get lasting change. We don't have it figured out. What we have seen happen is we made some positive moves, and we've taken a really open experimental approach to the things we're willing to try to increase both diversity and inclusion. And as a result of that, we've attracted a lot of people, and success begets success.
43.5% of your workforce is female versus 30% industry average. Your numbers are way better across the board, whether it's women in technical jobs, Blacks, Latinx. Facebook and Google, meantime, just released their recent diversity reports, and the numbers have barely moved. How can the rest of the industry move this in a substantial way? And what is your advice to young entrepreneurs who are starting at the beginning?
Well, so the second question is much easier, which is start it as early as possible. I guess that answers the first part of the question too, which is once you get really big, first of all, it's hard to move things on a percentage basis. I think people have unrealistically high expectations of what kind of change we can see in the short term. But the long term, I think we'll see a much bigger and more profound change than anyone realizes at this point.
You have hired and then lost some prominent diversity advocates like Erica Joy and Les Miley. Is that a hit for you, or what have you learned as a result of this process?
Well, I mean, even years ago, I stood up in front of the company in all hands and said one of the best results of all of this whole thing for me personally is that Slack graduates a set of alumni that go on to have enormous success in their career elsewhere. I'd also love to see people taking some of the elements of our approach to business. I don't just mean diversity and inclusion, but like having empathy as a core value and help spread those. I mean, that's really one of the things that's most exciting to me is people emulate what they think caused a success, and if the way that we conduct ourselves is something that people end up emulating, then that's great. And we'd like to be a great example.